I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight.
right after the pledge so they can.
I'd like to welcome you all to the DeKalb County Central United School District Board of Education. This is our organization and regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. At this time, I'll ask all that are able to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to start our evening out by welcoming our newest board member, Mrs. Lauren Anderson, and she will stand up here with Mr. Monty Brown to take her oath. You can just come right up here, and if you want your family to stand behind you, you can as well.
I think
Perfect.
that's good right there.
If you want to.
And repeat after me. I, Lauren K. Anderson,
I, Lauren K. Anderson,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and diligently discharge the duties of school board member for DeKalb Central School Board
School Board member for DeKalb Central School Board
according to law
according to law
and to the best of my skill and ability.
and to the best of my skill and ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Congratulations, Lauren. Okay, at this time, I'll ask Angie to do roll call, please.
Lauren Anderson,
Present.
Valerie Armstrong,
Present.
Tony Baker,
President.
Tony O'Neill,
Present.
Katie Easter.
Present.
Okay, at this time, per board bylaws, I would like to ask the board for a motion to make Superintendent Steve Teeters a temporary chairperson to conduct board president election.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, and welcome, Lauren. Great to have you on board.
Thank you.
So my sole responsibility this evening is to lead the process for the nomination and election of the school board president for the 2026 calendar school year. So at this point, there are no motions, it's just a nomination process, and so when a name is nominated, we'll close it and the board will vote on that nominee. So at this time, I would open the nominations for serving as school board president for the 2026 calendar year.
I would like to nominate Valerie Armstrong as president.
All right, thank you for that. That's a nomination, so we'll close the nominations. And at this time, we'll take the vote. Everyone voting in favor of Valerie Armstrong to be the school board president signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations, and I gladly turn the meeting back over to you, President Armstrong, so you can complete the election process of vice president for the board.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you letting me do this role. I know it's not always easy, and no board, or I am no greater than any board member that sits up here, so I appreciate your trust in me. Okay, at this time, I'll ask for a nomination for secretary.
I would like to nominate Katie Feaster for secretary. Second.
Okay. I have a nomination and a second. All those in favor for Katie Feaster as secretary signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Congratulations, Katie.
Thank you.
All other board members will serve as vice president. Okay, that concludes that section. Up next, we have a presentation from DeKalb Middle School.
All right, you can feel the excitement in the room. We have Carrie Weisart here, principal of DeKalb Middle School, so their presentation tonight, we'll throw it her way.
here with our Unified Esports team. And so tonight, we're going to present for you a little bit about what we watch a lot of Mario. So I wanted to start with, that is the game that they play for Unified Esports, so we wanted to show you just a little bit of that as we got started. But how did this get started? This year, honestly, I came from the high school and I had an awesome opportunity working with Marcus Wagner and the Unified Sports program over at the high school. And so we really wanted to start something similar at the middle school. And so this year, we were actually awarded our Unified Champion School banner because we have started a Unified Esports team. Our director at the middle school is Ryan Baker, and our esports coach is Amber Zimmerman. It was really exciting because at that point, after we started the Unified program and had our first assembly, these boys were all featured on 21 Alive for what it is that they were doing with Unified Esports. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Unified at DMS, we're going to talk about the esports team, and then you're going to hear from our esports players. So we're going to go ahead and start with Mr. Baker, who is our Unified director.
All right. So as Mrs. Weishart said, we started this year. We kind of started with a phone call this summer, and Mrs. Weishart said, "Hey, I need you to come in so you can talk to me about this." And here we are. We started Unified Esports. We got our banner. We had probably one of the most successful launch parties as far as the dance party goes in the gymnasium. And then we said, okay, who's going to coach Unified Esports? Because we're the first esports program in Indiana. And we came up with Amber Zimmerman, who has been a fantastic addition. She's done great recruiting. But yeah, so esports went very smoothly. We had a great coach. And then, you know, we have things like track coming up. That's something we're working on right now, is putting together the first Unified middle school track meet. So that's something we're going to hopefully have, we are going to have this spring. And, you know, beyond that, whatever gets added as far as Unified Sports goes at the middle school level, they're already talking about adding more games next year. So instead of Mario Kart, they're talking about Rocket League, talking about, you know, adding an actual track team itself, and, you know, just lots of things to come. And I am very excited to see where we go. I know when we started at the high school 10 years ago, we had one sport, and now we're up to 6. So, yeah, just really excited to see where we're going to go, and, you know, it's going to be fun.
I want to give credit to Ryan Baker. If you don't know, Ryan is very, very involved and was very crucial to the development of the high school program. And he shows up and he gets the kids and the excitement going. And just really appreciate you stepping up for this, Ryan. And you got yourself a good assistant.
Oh, yeah.
Good for you guys.
Thank you.
If you don't know what Unified Sports is where we have our general education students as well as our intellectual and non-intellectual abilities working together. So they're all working together in one team, and they are supporting one another through athletics or esports. So Amber is going to talk to us about what it was like to be the esports coach.
So during practice, good morning, or good evening. It's not morning. Looking back at the season, it was a fun time, like watching the kids just make new friends and have the friends that they already knew all together in one room. And then you don't think about a game council being a sport, but these kids made it a sport. They all had their fun times, they had the down times, they lost, they took it well sometimes when we lost. We like to blame an opponent named Mel, if you haven't heard. She's a top-notch racer. But during our season, we definitely had some fun time, and it was a challenge at some times, but we did great. Thank you.
And we're really thankful for Amber and all the time that she committed to the esports team. Next, we're going to hear from a couple of our players. So let's go ahead and start with Eric Smith. He's going to talk about his experience on the esports team.
When joining esports, I knew it would be fun because my friends were signing up, but I didn't realize how many new friends I would make. We bonded over every win and loss, building great memories along the way. Thinking back, the strongest thing we built wasn't just a team, but friendship that continues today.
Nice.
Thank you. Next, we have Silas DeLong.
Hi, my name is Silas. Thanks for having the team here tonight. We've had a lot of fun being with my team. Some things I learned is how to collaborate with new people and how to work with people that I've never met before. It takes a lot of different minds to make a great team. All of us came together and worked hard while having fun. And that recipe got us nationals. The most important thing that I learned is not everyone is the same. And that's what makes a team work. It was a great season and I had a lot of fun. Can't wait to see what next year brings. Thank you.
And then finally, Miles.
Hi. I joined esports because I like video games first of all, and I thought it'd be really cool to play with a bunch of other people in one school, because you usually never play video games in school, so it was fun. We made it to nationals. I beat a lot of my teammates when we would practice, but they did. Some of them beat me, like Michael did. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I made a lot of new friends. There's some I did not know, and I became friends with them. Practices, we would just play the game like how it's supposed to be played against CPUs, and then during matches, we would play against different schools across the country. Like we beat Georgia, New York, a bunch of other schools. And it usually would go by like there's 2 rounds, and you like win. Whoever won the most in those 2 rounds would win. And we only lost, I think, 2 games, and we won the rest. And thank you to my coaches for making it a great season.
Awesome.
So they did mention how it all ended. Here's our list of team members, and they were national champions. And so, guys, I have something very special for you tonight. Mrs. Brown at the middle school, you all know Mrs. Brown, knew that you didn't get a trophy for being national champions. So she had one made for you.
Aww.
So we just want you to know how proud we are, and that you're right. I heard you say that you made a lot of friends, and it's okay that people are different because we're all just amazing, just the way we are, right? So I love what you have learned about collaboration, and I'm going to present this to your coach because you are the national champions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you all for being there. I got to be at the national championship, and those guys were too scared of you, weren't they?
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yes.
Fun. Man, that
Mrs. Weishart, what season or what is the date time frame for like esports? Is it
So they were from October until December.
okay?
So they finished up right in that last.
After football.
Yeah. So it started like after fall break or
Well, no, they started practicing a little bit before then. Maybe
okay.
in September, I guess. But yeah, that's that whole first semester season.
Okay. Yeah. I was just thinking that for kids that want to maybe do it next year.
Absolutely.
So.
And we welcome anyone and everyone.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. At this time, I'll ask the board to adopt and amend the agenda.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda.
second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Okay, up next we have the consent agenda. This is items H H1 through H5. This includes our board minutes, financial reports, claims, personnel, and field trips. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah. Going forward, because of where we're at financially, and I'm not saying that we're bad financially, but with all the projects that we've got going on and all the investment that we got on, because we still have bonds in 4 different calendar years, right? 2021, 2023, 2024, now 2025, right?
Correct.
Could we separate and have an individual financial report by month instead of lumping it all together as one?
Breaking it out of the
I think it would help with the communication piece that we heard so much about in the interviews and explaining to everybody what's going on, how are we doing financially, how much donation money we're getting, how much interest money we're earning. I think it would be something that would bring the communication level up to the districts to the next level. So,
I'm not sure I'm following what you want. I'm sorry. You'll have to give me a little more
a
information.
monthly performance report in our financials. Where are we at? Education fund wise, where are we at? Operations fund wise, where are we at?
In addition to the cash flow statements I provide?
I think it needs to be presented to the public.
Oh, you want a presentation every month?
Right. Not just for us to read, but
Okay.
something summarized to let the district know where we're at on a
Sure.
month-by-month basis.
No problem.
I can sit down with him, put together, I mean.
I mean, I've
it
got
doesn't
cash
have to
flow
be-
statements that I provide the board. I'll just read those to the public. I have no problem doing that.
Okay.
That shows every single penny that was spent through the month. Not an issue.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, item I is donations.
Say it every month, but just a tremendous outpouring of support from our community, different entities, individuals, businesses, and the like on different donations. Just like to call upon some of these donations that we received in the last month. The Reiki Foundation and Bill Hymack, every year we receive thousands of dollars in donations for our early childhood program, our preschool program. And so just another year of receiving, I believe, a check in the amount of $4,000 for our early learning program, which impacts up to 144 4-year-olds that we do not receive. We receive very little state funding for, but it's pretty much privately funded, except for a few students that might qualify for the On My Way pre-K vouchers that we might get in that capacity. So forever grateful for the Reiki Foundation. Every year you can set your calendar to it. We receive a check with a tremendous donation from that foundation. We are grateful for that. Mr. Wagner brings just another laundry list of donations received by entities within our community. Donna Garman and the Auburn Classic Noon Lions Club, Linda Stayer, and the Blickenstaff Memorial, to the athletic funds, FCI Construction, the Early Ford V8 Foundation, Marilyn Hoppert, Stephen and Mary Hostetler, Bailey and Wood Mortgage Lenders, supporting everything from our band to our choir to our athletic teams, our swim team, choir, theater, and the ongoing project of lighting our new band practice area that continues, and another $10,000 donation for that project. So once again, just blown away by the tremendous amount of support that we get from our community for everything that we need for our kids.
Thank you, Steve. Those are amazing donations, and we appreciate all of the community support. Okay, item J is report of the superintendent. J1 is appoint school treasurer and set the bond.
So I have a recommendation for the board to consider this evening. This is part of our organization meeting for Mark Rum, our CFOO, with the bond being set at $250,000, the same amount as last year.
Okay, at this time I'll ask the board for a motion.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Jay, to you, go ahead.
Yep. Our district deputy treasurer, Gina Burr, she's our director of our business operations with a bond being set at $100,000.
Okay, I'll ask the board for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes.
Our next one, J3, the cafeteria extracurricular treasurers, our food service director and assistant, Aubrey Rutherford and Jennifer Grog, with the bond being set at $7,000.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes.
J4 is our building extracurricular treasurers, and with their bond amounts as well, representing James R. Watson Elementary, McKinney Harrison Elementary, Waterloo Elementary, and Country Meadow Elementary at the amount of $15,000 each. DeKalb Middle School at the amount of $80,000, DeKalb High School at $100,000, and the DeKalb High School Assistant Treasurer at $20,000 for your consideration.
I'll ask a board for a motion for the extracurricular treasures.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Go right ahead.
Thank you.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes.
J5 is the DeKalb County Central United School District, the foundation, DeKalb Central Foundation. This position certainly determined by the board. Tony O'Neill, I believe, served in that capacity in the 2025 school year. And I believe Lauren was a member of that board also up and through your appointment of this seat. So,
So do I need to ask for a motion to nominate
nominate a board member.
a board member? Tony, would you like to continue, or?
Do I want to keep doing it? I would love to.
Okay. I'll make a motion for Tony O'Neill to continue to serve on the DeKalb Central United School District Foundation as our representative.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Thanks, Tony.
O'Neill.
O'Neill.
J6, the legislative representative, Katie Feaster served in this capacity last year. Looking for a representative for this calendar year.
Katie, would you like to continue?
I would be happy to.
Okay.
I'd like to nominate Katie Feaster to continue in that capacity.
Okay.
I'll have to do a second, do I?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
J7 is the Ag Advisory Board at the high school. The position was held this past calendar year by Tony Baker.
Tony, would you like to continue?
Would.
Okay.
Do we have to second these? Just because? Follow
Yeah.
Roberts?
Yeah.
I'll second.
I need a motion first.
Oh, sorry, I already had a motion.
You can make a
Would
motion.
you like to make your first motion?
I motion for Tony Baker to continue on the ag.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
J8 is information only. The Auburn Redevelopment Commission, the mayor of Auburn has the authority to appoint this position. With that said, Mayor Dave Clark had appointed member Valerie Armstrong for the role, and her term actually ends at the conclusion of this calendar year. So Mayor Clark will have to revisit that next year.
Okay.
J9 is the Ashley Redevelopment Commission appointment. Last year, Tony O'Neill served in that capacity.
Tony, would you like to continue?
I would love to.
Okay. Need a motion?
I motion for Tony O'Neill to continue on the Ashley Redevelopment Commission.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
J10 is the Waterloo Redevelopment Commission appointment, and Tony O'Neill served in that capacity last year.
Tony O'Neill, would you like to continue, or does someone else
I
want
would
to?
love to.
Would you really love to?
I would.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm getting better at it.
okay.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion for Tony O'Neill to represent the redevelopment commission appointment.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
It takes a year to figure out my role, but I'm better at it.
Got it down.
I'm not
All
good at it,
right.
I'm
I
just
like
better at it.
I like it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The last one for consideration, J11, the Waterloo Parks Board. It's an ex officio member appointment. I believe Tony O'Neill served in that position last year.
Tony O'Neill, would you like to continue that?
Would love to.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Item I-12, the 2026-2027 DMS schedule.
All right, and it just, the karma aligned here, the stars aligned for us. Mrs. Weishart, you're here with the presentation this evening. And so I'm going to present Mrs. Weishart's summary of her recommendation for DeKalb Middle School and a scheduling change. This is a pretty big change in the scheduling at the middle school, and I wholeheartedly agree with. And before I walk through the middle school scheduling recommendation, of course, Mrs. Weishart's here to address any follow-up questions that you may have. I want to briefly provide some context on how we arrived at our existing middle school schedule. I think that's important. We originally moved to a block schedule that we currently have in place, and I don't even like saying it, but when COVID hit, as a way to limit student movement and reduce the number of contacts students had with one another for the contact tracing purposes. We all probably get a little bit triggered when you hear that phraseology, but at the time, we really tried to keep kids from having a lot of contact with each other, because if and when someone was positive, then that started the whole contact tracing. As we transitioned out of the COVID, it was also thought to be a potentially beneficial model moving forward, and we've maintained that model, and we've seen some areas of success with that. However, as we've had time to evaluate student learning, behavior, and outcomes, especially in the middle school, Mrs. Weishart and her leadership team believe it is time to move forward with a schedule that better aligns with the current needs of our middle school students. So I really appreciate the fact that Mrs. Weishart, being just her second year at the middle school, really took last year to really evaluate the middle school structure and really include key members of her team and her entire teaching staff in this decision. The recommendation being brought forward for the 26-27 school year is to move from block scheduling to a consistent daily schedule with 45-minute classes Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, while maintaining the current Wednesday structure. Wednesday is our delay schedule that we have in place currently as a district. Academically, the iLearn data shows a significant number of middle school students performing below or approaching proficiency in math and reading. Block scheduling can create gaps in daily Tier 1 instruction, which makes consistent progress more difficult. This proposed schedule guarantees daily core instruction in English language arts and in math, and embeds daily student success time, or SST, and intervention time directly into the master schedule. This allows for expanded Tier 1 and Tier 3 supports aligned to student data and positions the district to meet Indiana's math remediation law requirements beginning the 26-27 school year. From a student behavior standpoint, because Carrie wasn't satisfied with just taking a look at the academic advantages of moving to a 45-minute period throughout the day, student behavior and engagement standpoint, the internal data has been very clear. On Wednesdays, when students attend all 7 shorter periods, the school consistently sees fewer student passes, improved engagement, and less lost instructional time. On block days, there's increased use of bathrooms, locker pass usage, which has contributed to a staggering number of hours of missed learning or missed opportunities in just one semester of data that is within the recommendation. Shorter daily classes better align with middle school development needs and improve overall classroom routines and culture. From a staffing perspective and resource perspective, this schedule does not require additional staffing. It reorganizes existing English language arts and math staffing to strengthen instructional support, preserves alignment for students taking high school coursework, and protects intervention time while maintaining elective opportunities. At its core, this is a systems level improvement. It strengthens academics, improves student behavior, and ensures compliance with state expectations without adding staff. Most importantly, it shifts intervention from a reactive model to a proactive model, daily system of support that better serves our students. I certainly want to commend Mrs. Weishart and her team for bringing this recommendation for consideration. We've talked a lot about it over the past several months, and I appreciate the process and the engagement she had in her building. I truly believe it best meets the needs of our middle school students moving forward. I want to thank you for your consideration, and as I've said before, Mrs. Weishart is here and can certainly address any definitive questions that you might have.
Thank you, Steve. At this time, I'll ask the board for a motion to approve the new changes for the schedule of 2026-27 school year for DMS.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tony B.
Okay. What's the current class schedule in the block is, how many classes a day? 7.
Well, not a day. So we have an A day, a B day, and then our Wednesday. So we're gonna move to a 7-period day every day.
Right, so you go from 4 to 7? Okay.
I just know, living in the middle school world for 22 years, going from the 7-period day and then COVID, and I understand all the things we had to do to keep kids in place, and keeping them 6 feet apart was impossible because they're middle school kids. It was a challenge for me as an older person to stay in the classroom for 90 minutes. And I couldn't imagine a 12, 13, 14-year-old boy sitting still for 90 minutes. Even if you got up and did some activity things, to me, it was very confining for them. But boy, when that bell rang, boy, they were ready to go somewhere, and it didn't matter where. So you stayed away from the door when the bell rang. So when I read this last, I think it was Saturday, I thought, oh, I might check and see if my license expires, because it expires, so I'm not coming back. But I thought, okay, this I think will suit better for the majority of the students, just schedule-wise and movement, and they'll adjust. You know, they're young. The staff will take a little time, but I'm excited for the school.
I think we'll probably establish some precedence data too. It'll be interesting to collect that data this year.
Do we have a breakdown by high school and middle school as to where we may be losing a number of our students to other schools or other districts? That
We do have that breakdown. Yep, we asked last year, I think I shared that data with you last year. We were able to track from day 1 to day 180 the students that we lost and where they went. If we were, if they went out of state, then we really can't track it. So the money following the student in the state of Indiana, we could track where they were coming from when they enrolled, and we could follow them where they left. So they're tracking that same information this year. I'll certainly share that with the board when we have it.
interesting to see.
Maybe
Again,
if some will come back.
I agree that probably I to be honest, I hate to sit still for 90 minutes now, right? And I'm an old man, but I think this is great. I think that we're starting to think about how the impact of the schedule actually affects, but the question is if it has a positive impact on our enrollment, then,
Good.
I mean, it's another thing that we need to be standing up and going, hey,
Another plus.
another recruiting aspect for our district to say, hey, the kid doesn't like to be in a block schedule, come to Cal.
I appreciate the thorough support that you provided to, why you made your decision. And have a 12, 13-year-old boy that transitioned from 5th grade, having recesses to none and long classes. And I know he has had lots of passes. So I understand. How does this align with the students that take some classes at the high school?
So I've been working closely with Mr. Wagner into what the school accountability will be for next year, because there has to be some high school credit courses that are taught at the middle school with the new school accountability we're moving into. And so we have aligned the schedules. Actually, our schedule is 2 periods in 1 period at the high school. And so we've got all of that already worked it out with Mr. Wagner, and we sat down and had several meetings. And so for the ones who do take a course at the high school, they will still be able to take it with no issue.
Okay, I knew you'd have it all figured out. All right, thank you. Okay, I had a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Thank you.
And this won't start until next fall.
Correct. 26, 27.
Okay, item J13 is the acceptance of the DMS Next Voices grant.
Great, thank you. On behalf of Carrie Weishart, principal at DeKalb Middle School, I want to share with you that DeKalb Middle has received a $1,000 grant from the Region 8 Educational Service Center to support student-created media as part of our Next Voices Regional Video Showcase. This was a quick app and a quick turnaround, and it's $1,000 that will really help to support the kids that are engaging in the career discovery programming. And it looks like they're going to use this money to help enhance their student podcasting and video studio. So every little bit helps, and we're appreciative of Region 8 for granting us $1,000. I just need your consideration to approve and accept this grant.
Thank you, Lori.
Yep.
Do I have a motion to accept the grant?
Move to approve.
Second?
I'll
I have a-
second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I was at the boys' basketball game, 7th and 8th grade game, after our guitar club met, and I saw some students with press passes. And I thought, so I leaned over to Mr. Bennett and I said, "What's that?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, that's something we started. We got kids taking pictures and they're engaged in photography and broadcasting and videotaping." And I thought, cool.
Yeah.
That's huge now. So if we can get them started in the middle school, look out. So that was exciting.
Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Item J14, acceptance of the Don Wood Foundation grant.
So throughout the last couple of years, you've heard the name Don Wood frequently, and we are once again extremely grateful, pleased that they are so great about supporting our initiatives at the high school and soon to be at the middle school. The grant that we have just received from the Don Wood Foundation is in the amount of $235,000, and that's going to be awarded to our BAM, Barron Advanced Manufacturing Program. This funding is going to support innovative and new initiatives. We're going to add to that program. I commend John Klingen, our director of BAM, who has been with us since the beginning and has really established and maintained a very good relationship with Don Wood. They like what he does, we like what they do, and so it's working very well. Secondly, this grant is going to also, and this was something that was a collaborative conversation between John and Carrie and Marcus, also start working the expansion to the middle school with some of the manufacturing programming, getting an earlier start with that, introducing students to some things that not only will help them engage at the high school, but also hopefully increase the enrollment at the high school into our BAM program. So again, it's an amazing amount of money from an organization that has been nothing but supportive to us throughout the last several years. So just need to approve and accept this one.
Thanks, Lori. I'll ask the board for a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Isn't the engineering class in the middle school kind of rolling into BAM?
Yeah, so it just started this semester.
Yeah, I know.
And John Ford is teaching it And when I first spoke with John, we had some awesome dreams, and we talked about how the guitar club actually becomes the class. So the machine, which John can explain and I can't, the machine will help with them when they're creating, all of them creating their own guitars. So that has already started, and the machine cuts and.
So between the equipment, new equipment at the middle school and our existing equipment at the high school, the guitar class is basically a fully functional production facility. So we can learn, and we're trying to align the initiatives at the middle school to fall right in line with the high school. Same equipment, so we get a lot of the introductory things down. Start building the pipeline earlier, so when we get to the high school, we can start focusing on more advanced things, and then let the colleges, again, focus on what they need to do. So we're just trying to fill the pipeline as soon as we can. Love to see it at the elementary school eventually. Baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Barren version of the Fender.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And they've been building guitars for a long time out of kits.
Correct.
And so now they're gonna be able to build their own parts using these machines.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love the collaboration too, so.
How many students do we currently have in the band program?
Put me on the spot.
Close.
I'm gonna say roughly between 20 and 30 right now.
Okay.
That's great. That's good.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Great. Item J15.
Yeah, that's one. If you've been following our BAM journey, you've heard no doubt the name Purdue INMAC. This was the group from Purdue University that we joined forces with that helped us initiate and led us through a lot of our process to help us really launch successfully. So they have what they call micro grants and allow us to reapply for some things. We did apply, John did, and received $1,500. And what he's gonna use this for, I'll do a little advertisement for you, John, okay? If you got a chance to go to their car show was it in the summertime or spring? It was still chilly. Yeah, it was at the high school. They had a great turnout, great cars. They're gonna do it again this spring, May 2nd, and it will be at the high school again. It's, they call it their annual automation, car, truck, tractor, bike, BAM. Students are there designing and machining. It's just a really nice showcase for part of what we're doing out there. So we did receive, like I said, an INMAC micro grant for this. That'll help offset some of the little expenses that we have with the show. And thanks to John for putting that together along with his students, because they really take an active role in it.
Thanks, Lori. Do I have a motion to accept the micro grant?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Right, thank you.
Doesn't need any donated steel.
So that's what this grant is for aluminum. So one of our class projects is the students actually designed the trophy for the car show. And with the material, we'll actually be machining our own trophies this year.
Is most of the machining done on aluminum, not steel?
Yes. We want to stick with that just to extend the life of our tooling.
And the cost is a lot less.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, item J16, Board of Finance.
Thank you. Indiana law provides that a Board of Finance meets annually to elect officers. I will need a motion to that effect. Traditionally, our school board officers, president and secretary, have served in the same roles for the Board of Finance. Just a little background, Board of Finance. The purpose is to review any investment reports that we have, including the name of all financial institutions with whom the school district invested money during the previous school year, review all the overall investment policies that we have as a school district, and review a written report on the financial condition of the school corporation using the fiscal and qualitative indicators determined by the state committee. You have the DUAB, the Distressed Unit Appeal Board at the State Board of Accounts level that oversees school districts that might be in some financial trouble. They would oversee school districts that have issues. That's not what I'm saying we have. I'm just saying that's who comes up with this set of rules. I present the Board of Finance report to the entire board and the public. I'll do that tonight. But first, I do need a motion to elect the president and the secretary for the Board of Finance.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mark, do you see anything with the changes in the laws for 2026 that we may have to review? Investment policies with the changes in the tax laws?
Not really with the investment portion of it, obviously, budgeting portion, there's gonna be some changes, but in terms of how we invest our money, we're partnering with Lake City, which I will discuss a little bit, obviously, in a minute, but we get a pretty good rate of return there. Most schools stick with investments that way. We don't invest in CDs, things like that. We get a substantial rate from Lake City, and I'm pretty happy with that. And you don't take risk as a school corporation. I'm not gonna be out playing the stock market and things like that, school corporation, tax money. So I don't foresee that being an issue in terms of investment.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Okay,
Let's go through the quick presentation. It's the same thing. We're still on that, but I will take you through it. I'll go fast, I promise. So basic information from our school corporation standpoint, you can see our 24-25 student count, the ADM, our net assessed value, and our estimated population of our district. The financial institutions that we do business with are listed at the bottom there, with Lake City being the biggest in terms of that's where our operations and our education fund monies lie, along with debt service. Horizon Bank is still housing our extracurricular, all of our ECA funds and our student fees, which is obviously going down. We are looking at going away from Horizon Bank, hopefully yet this year, to move everything into Lake City, because we do get a bigger return interest-wise from Lake City than we do with Horizon. Regions is our trustee for our lease bond funds. So currently you're seeing that balance in there, a little over $17 million. That would be the 23-24 bonds that we have. The balance in Lake City would also represent the GO bond that the board just approved a couple months ago. Those proceeds, that 6.6 roughly $1 million, is part of Lake City's balance. Next slide. Oh, sorry, I'm controlling that. I forgot I had the clicker. Our ADM, just to give you, this shows you through back to 2015-16. Again, ADM, for those that aren't aware, is taken twice a year at the state level. They now have real-time access to our student information systems. They can go in and check that immediately on their dates in September and February. It's really the underlying number that drives the education fund and our revenue in it. For this reason, it's one of the metrics, that DUAB will take a really close look at when determining if you're looking at some kind of financial trouble in the near future. You can see our numbers have decreased a little bit over the last few years. Again, nothing we haven't discussed multiple times in this room and across the district. Next is our annual deficit and surplus. This graph is going to show you our revenues by year in green and our expenses in blue, with the resulting surplus or deficit that we would have in yellow. So this is money that we bring in every year as opposed to what we spend. This is a combination of education and operations, as you can see. Where you can see the years where we show a slight deficit, those are years where we had a bond passed probably the year previous. We spent money that was associated with that bond with obviously no revenue coming in that year, if that makes sense. So we got all the revenue in the previous year, so you're going to see a slightly higher surplus. In the following year, where we were still spending bond funds, we weren't bringing that revenue in, so that can skew it a little bit in terms of where you can see a slight deficit. But no concerns. You can see the black line represents our balances of our funds. And you see over the last couple of years, we've really done a good job of increasing, especially in 2024, our revenue as opposed to expense. Sorry, Angie, I keep looking at you. Fund balances. This is going to show you our debt service fund, our education operations, and rainy day, pretty much everything that tax dollars and our state tuition pays into. The biggest thing I'm sure you're going to notice, as I do, is looking at 23 to 24, and the orange line represents our education fund. That's a significant jump there in the education fund. A couple of things that affected that. One of them was we went away from the curricular materials fund. All of the curricular materials, which totaled close to a little over $600,000, was transferred from a fund into the education fund. So there's $616,000 of that, almost $5 million increase, $4.5 million, excuse me. We had a lot of retirements in years 22 and 23 that we paid out a lot of money into the education fund, which drove down 2023's balance. And then in turn, we had some attrition. We had, some positions not hired back. That attributed to some of that increase. We went away from one of Mr. Baker's favorite things. We did not do an ed to ops transfer in 2024. There's a $500,000 increase in the education fund. And that's, just other things. But I don't like to say that we did a great job of watching the budget, but we did. As you look at operations, that's increased in all 3 of our years, of my years as your CFO. I take a lot of pride in increasing a cash balance for protection of the school district. Now, with that said, the 2024 to 2025 balance, it increased as well. I have that data. Obviously, DUAB doesn't compile everything until about the middle of this year, so they're a year behind. But we increased about $1.5 million in education and about $1 million in ops as well. So we're continuing on that pace. Next slide will show you. Sorry, Angie. At least I'm not yelling or anything. This slide is going to show percentage of operational expenditures as comparison to fund balances. So as you're looking at the lines steadily going up, you would expect that big jump in 2024 when you saw that cash increase. What these percentages represent are, I use the example at the bottom of the slide, you can see in 2024 we had overall expenditures between education and operations of roughly $34.5 million. Our fund balances in that year equated to $15.8 million. So when you take the 15.8 divided into the 34 million of expenses, you come up with that percentage of 45.9. So what DUAB is looking for there is obviously the higher the percentage, the safer you are if for some reason revenues were to come to a screeching halt. State had a problem with, making a payment. Hopefully that would never happen. Property tax delays, whatever it may be, this is showing DUAB where does that percentage lie? How safe are you with your cash balances in case revenue were to slow down coming in if there were delays? Make sense?
What's the state consider like
20%.
Is the min or like the average?
That's well, I can't tell you the average. The recommended number is between 15 to 20%, if not lower. A lot of schools are at 10 and are happy with 10 to 7%. I think you can see my philosophy in the 3 years that I've been here. I'm extremely defensive when it comes to cash balance. We knew SEA 1 was coming, and that's when in 23 and 24 I really tried, to the angst of a lot of employees and my directors, I really tried to protect our cash balance just to see what was going to happen. That said, you also recognize, I see all of our union members represented over here. We did, with our 2-year contract, got a decent sized raise across the board for all of our employees. This cash balance is one of those reasons. Knowing we protected that education fund, we were able to give a higher raise than I thought we would be able to. Revenue by type, little scary looking slide here. As you look at this is showing all the money that comes in and the different types for our district. Pretty steady across, not a lot of stimulus revenue. That was obviously during the COVID times, things like that. The big ones are your local tax revenue, which is the pink line at the bottom. You can see that gradually just kind of going up a little bit, not tremendously up, but that's to protect your tax rate, things like that with your taxpayers. And then the blue line, the big one, is your state revenue that the state provides. I would point out the 2 little bumps just because it was something that I had to do a little research on. That's debt service. So for our bonds that are lease bonds, the bond we'll do for the backpack, the bond we did last year for the co-curricular facility, those are lease bonds. Those do not show up here because that money is held, as you saw on the first slide, in Regions Bank by our bank trustee for the bonds. Okay, those 2 bumps in 19 and 2021, 2019 represents a GO bond that we passed. Okay, that revenue, much like the revenue we got this year for our 2025 GO bond, that goes directly into Lake City. So that is going to show up in this graph. 2021 bond, which I was not a part of, that was broken down, it was a lease bond, but some of the funds, because we had such a good premium on it, I'm making an assumption there. Some of those proceeds went directly into the school corporation, so that's what that little bump represents. Those two bumps are about $5 to $5.5 million.
When you're talking about those two bumps, so you're talking about interest income, right?
No, that's bond proceeds. That is bond money that came into our coffers. So imagine when we get it to next year's, if you guys can make a little mental note to remember a year when I go over this again, you'll see in 2025, you're gonna see another bump from the GO bond that we just sold, because that 6.6 million went into Lake City. Okay?
Considered revenue, though.
I'm sorry?
Why is it considered revenue?
It's debt service revenue. It's money coming in from the debt service that we did. We borrowed money in the form of the bond. So that goes directly to us. The reason that last year's bond doesn't show is because it's housed in regions, and that's not something that came directly into our main bank.
Just seems like a wrong term.
I don't disagree. And like I said, I had to do some research to understand what was going on with that. I knew as soon as I saw the numbers what it represented. I just didn't understand why. So I tried to explain it the best I could. It's not that great, probably. So sorry. I think that's the last slide. Is it? Yeah. So that's where we are there. I don't really have anything else unless you have a question or comment. That was just kind of a generality for you.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Yep.
Okay, next item is I-17, which are conflicts of interest.
I handed out to the board the forms. I've gotten some back. I'll just need to get the rest. To remain compliant with our Indiana code and local school board policy, I gave you the conflict of interest statements that need to be completed by any board members. This has just become something we do every January. We do it for all of our employees in August, board members in January. So no, I don't need any motions or anything. That's just more informational. And if anyone, I have, I think, 2 or 3 of them. So if anybody else had a sheet, just make sure that gets into the blue folder tonight.
Okay. Thank you. Item J18, cancellation of expired checks.
Every 2 years, on the memo, you can see, I hate to read the entire Indiana code to you, but each year we are allowed for any checks outstanding and unpaid for a period of 2 years. As of December 31st is what we use. They're declared void. I get them cleared out of my system, make all my accounting specialists happy back into business office as they reconcile bank statements. I apologize for the typo on it. I just saw it. It's actually using December 31st, 2023. To go back 2 years. I did include the list of checks. There are a few employees that are listed on there, probably for ECA stuff, things like that, working tickets, whatever. I always reach out to them, let them know. We typically don't cancel those checks, but I let them know, hey, could you please get this cashed? Or sign it over to me and I'll be happy to cash it for you, whatever, I don't know, but to wait 2 years. So as you can see from the sheet, this year's total is $632.63. That will just go back into the appropriate funds that they were coming from.
Okay.
So I would ask the board's approval to void those checks.
Okay. Do I have a motion to void checks?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Oppose? Motion passes. Item J19 is request to dispose of old DHS athletic equipment.
The athletic department has 2 old fiberglass pitching mounds. You can see the pictures in the memo, looks like. The baseball program purchased 3 new mounds a couple of years ago, so these older mounds are no longer used and they're simply taking up valuable storage space. They would like to auction these, I assume, Marcus, I assume through Matt and our, okay? So we would auction these back. They were purchased with ECA funds, so once these are auctioned off, we will return those funds to the ECA account. I would ask the board's permission to auction these off.
Okay. Do I have a motion to auction these items?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I think Bill Jones built his back in the day, plywood and indoor.
Tony, you're
outdoor.
so old, like you, me, there's probably like 4 people in this room that know who Bill Jones is, right?
Oh, I'm gonna say
They
6.
probably had the shop classes good.
That's true.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item J20 is proposal to switch dairy vendors.
For our food service director, Aubrey Rutherford, she would like to make a change for the 26-27 school year. We're currently using Prairie Farms for our milk. She would like to make the switch to DFA, Dairy Farmers of America, which is Dean's Milk. There's been some issues with deliveries being on time, and I do know, and I think Aubrey's still here. If I screw any of this up, I'm sure she'll chime in, but I believe that Prairie Farms is no longer going to be delivering from Fort Wayne. I think that was a factor that really she was taking into consideration, that the deliveries would probably be coming from Indianapolis. So when she was having issues with delivery time, it was not a big deal for him to call Fort Wayne and get something delivered. That could become a concern, getting the milk here from Indianapolis same day. So as she's worked with DFA, she's assured that summer delivery is not going to be any problems. They're also 6 cents a carton cheaper. And most importantly, they offer strawberry milk that's compliant for our students that love strawberry milk. She's happy to answer any questions. This change would take effect July 1st, 2026. I would ask the board's consideration.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to switch dairy vendor?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, item J21, accounting specialists.
If you remember last year when we had some switches around in the business office, we brought a new person in. We took Leanne Helsley down to 20 hours. The board was gracious enough to allow me to continue on, as she was training Jessica, our new gal, to have over 20 hours. Leanne also works with grants, a lot of the federal level things. It's just become apparent that I can use her for more than 20 hours several weeks. I don't want to call this a formality because the board at that time had kind of given me the ability to let her work a few more hours. And talking to Mr. Teeters, we just thought it was best to get the memo, so we had it on the books that it was official. I'm not asking to bring her back full-time all the time, but for the weeks that I need her to work more than 20 hours, I would just ask the board's approval so that she could work up to those 40 hours per week when needed.
Thank you, Mark. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you for that.
All right, thank you. This brings us to miscellaneous. I'm going to open it up to our administration tonight first.
I'll just a quick announcement. This was approved almost 2 years ago, but Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and it's the first time that DeKalb Central District will be observing that as a holiday, so no school for the students, and it's a non-work day for our staff. So just a reminder, I think we've been sending some reminders out to staff. We have some parent reminders going out later this week, just to remind everybody. I'm hoping for like 8 inches of snow, so like, we avoid a cancellation or a virtual day, so I'm like,
It's foggy morning.
just a reminder, MLK Day on Monday.
Anyone else?
I have just a couple things. I'd like to give a couple updates on bond work, and Matt is still here. I know we have a varsity basketball game as well. I think we're all right time-wise. I don't want to keep him here any longer than he needs to be to see his son play, but concessions building, I've had a lot of questions from the public, and a few board members have asked me on updates with that. Concession building is, we're in the punch list phase. There's a few things that still need addressed in the concessions building. I wouldn't call them anything earth-shattering. The biggest thing that I have my concern with is still the PA system and the co-curricular in the press box. All of the hardware is there. What we were waiting on are the speaker brackets. I got an update today that apparently those need to be custom fabricated. So they're working on that. They've assured us that, it's probably a week or two away, and then they'll be able to install. All I really told them was, I sure don't want my spring season to start and not have my press box and concessions building 100% functional. So they've assured us that's not going to be an issue at all. I'm thinking we're probably a week or two out. I think that's safe, maybe a little more, from buttoning up that entire project. So I just kind of wanted to give that update. Anything I missed there, Matt?
No, as people have probably noticed, the dirt piles, there's some grading that still needs to be done. Obviously, they have to wait until nicer weather to plant seed.
Right.
And there's some painting items that can't be done on the exterior until the weather turns. But it's not a lot, it's just some touch-ups, things like that. But yeah, I think, also the discus and shot, that's been poured, again, that's ready, everything's been poured. It's just gonna be some landscaping that needs to be completed when we get to better weather.
I also will share, it's probably not a huge deal, but it was to me anyways. Our bleachers, we had at the beginning of the project with the bleachers, it was very tight for us to make it for that home football game that we wanted to have them ready for.
And the band competition the
And
next
the band
day.
competition, which was the next day. And FCI and Crawford Excavating really stepped in to help Dant Clayton and their subcontractor on the pylons and the bases for the bleachers, to the tune of about $41,000 to $42,000 of extra labor for them. Dan Clayton, I've been going back and forth with the company, with the bleacher company, because they were kind of not happy about the idea of cutting their contract with me, $42,000. I got the email yesterday that they have approved that, so we have a deduct change order coming in for that amount, so that was really good news. And I applaud, not that they're here, I applaud Dan Clayton for doing the right thing, in my opinion, because they definitely had some outside help. Lastly, I would have for the board, we did get our 1782 back, that's our budget. Our budget was approved. I wanted to share with the board. I will put in the board file for you. I just got it. I have the copy of it. I'll drop it in that file. Angie yells at me if I do too much in the board file during the board day in case something disappears. I don't want to get blamed for anything. So I will get that in there. Just to share with the board and the public, our tax rate is 0.7910. Last year's tax rate was 0.7769. I can say those again if you were writing them down. 0.7910 is the total tax rate this year, from last year's of 0.7769 for a difference of 0.0141. So for anyone in the audience or at home listening, what that means is if you fall in that assessed value home range, so this is the average of our constituents of around $192,000, you're going to be looking at a tax increase of about $26. So with everything we've had going on, I'm extremely proud of that number, that we were able to hold the tax rate where it was. All of our numbers came in exactly where they needed to be. I am 95% done with our 2026 budget. I do have it. I'll have the blank one in the board docket for you to look at. I know Tony Baker has asked for that as well, so I will put that on there for you, Tony. Please just keep in mind when we get to the budget that I'm sharing in there, outside of the 1782 budget, we're getting down into where we have 600-700 GLs, accounts. That, the board always approves me each and every year to shift that money around as needed by GL. So to budget down to the object level, for board members to look at, sometimes you might see something that looks alarming, like, whoa, you've used 95%. Well, I can shift money around from different GLs. I just kind of wanted to point that out to everybody.
I'll try and stay at the 20,000 foot level.
I appreciate that. But I understand if you don't want to. I will have that, and it's in there, because I know you've asked for it, okay?
Yep.
That's all I have. Sorry, that was a lot.
No, it's all good stuff. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll open up to the board members.
Flu season, sheesh, back again. Drink a lot of water, get a lot of sleep. Please cover your mouth when you cough. Students, please.
Your hands.
Wash your hands, stay healthy. You're not that sick, go to school, please, because we don't want you to miss school. But if you're that bad, go to the doctor, do whatever you need to do, but be at school. We like our graduation rate to be high, so you gotta be at school. It's more fun than being at home with mom, because she won't let you use your phone. But you can't use it at school either. Amen.
Oh, Tony. I like it.
I'm good. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, everyone.
Welcome. We're glad to have you.
I got the opportunity to go watch the Cow's varsity boys basketball play at New Haven on Saturday, and I'll tell you, it was It was very reassuring to see a group of boys play basketball like that. I haven't seen that at the Cal in a long time. They're not the biggest team by any way, shape, or form, but the way they played and worked together and hustled, that's the way it used to be. And it looked really good. Now, the outcome might not have been what we wanted, but I can say that anybody that was there ought to be proud of those boys the way they played. So.
Anything else? Okay. I do know, upcoming next month on February 17th, Katie and I are going to be attending Legislative Day. We got the information that there are 700 bills filed this legislative session, and 73 are relevant to K-12 public ed. So
I just listened to a podcast today about them, so.
Yep, think of us as Katie and I deep dive in and meet with our legislators and figure things out, so. All right. That's all I have, and I'm going to open up to the public. I have one speaker that would like to come up to the podium, or not. He's- Yes.
Everybody at home
They
wants
can't
to
hear you otherwise.
We get
We realize you're loud, but.
Been sitting for 71 minutes.
Not quite a full block
all right.
schedule.
I'm looking forward to the conversation that we'll have with the discussion. So, hey, good evening. My name is Jason Hunter, teacher at DeKalb High School. Just want to come and talk. You know, administration always gets a little leery with this teachers at these meetings. So I want to make sure we all understand this has nothing to do with "I got you" or "let's do this." This is a call to action, and this is a call to all on teacher appreciation grants. I don't know how much the board is aware of teacher appreciation grants and the background of teacher appreciation grants, but it has a lot to do with obviously rewarding certified staff financially. By the way, great financial report. I love talking about money, Mr. Rum.
Same.
And I enjoyed that report, so that was good.
Thank you.
I'm also a big 2 thumbs up on the ed to op transfers and not doing that. So I think that's an important thing. I think DeKalb Central leads Northeast Indiana in the smallest ed to ops transfer for a long, long time. So that's important that we see that. But my biggest thing in, again, call to action. And I'm glad to hear that you're going to the legislative session. It's been about a decade since they've done the Teacher Appreciation Grant. And when it started out, I was here.
I was there.
Let me say from the very beginning, I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of the Teacher Appreciation Grant, period. I think everyone should be compensated. And I think it sends a really negative message from the state when they say, ooh, just certified staff gets this. We have outstanding employees at DeKalb Central, whether it's the transportation, food services, front office, you name it. Everyone should be compensated somehow. Certified staff was compensated very well for the next 2 years, so we appreciate that also, Mr. Rum.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's 2. I'm counting. I'm writing it down.
It's just frustrating to see the change that's happening this year. When it first started out, it was a 25% difference between highly effective and effective teachers. You're looking at maybe $200 up to $500, maybe it's $700 to $300. Great. And now it's gotten to the point, and the public needs to know this as well. We're looking at numbers of $3,500 up to $7,500. That's wrong. Something needs to be done about that. We have certified staff that have been eligible for these teacher appreciation grants, tag money, that now aren't eligible. I mean, like they can't even receive it. Guidance counselors can't even receive, they're not eligible to receive this tag money, regardless of highly effective or effective. That's wrong. And now it's not everybody receiving effective, highly effective. It's just the highly effective and not even all the highly effective.
It's 20% of the highly affected. What message are we sending to Indiana educators? 20% of you are good. 20% of you deserve this, and that is wrong. And I disagree with that. So again, it's not pointing fingers. It's not. It's not saying you're not doing it the right way, but something has to be done. Because I tell you what, as much as we preach about collaboration, as much as we preach about working together, it's going to create animosity. And it's going to create an environment that's negative. You know, I don't have much longer to go. I don't. I'll be honest with you. Was it 2000? Congratulations, by the way. Was it 2002?
When I
When
graduated, 2002. Yep.
So that's my first year. So 2001, 2002, that's my first year. So your last year, my first year. I enjoyed, I'm getting off topic. I enjoyed watching Monday night. I enjoyed watching the interviews. I'm a DeKalb graduate. I'm a DeKalb graduate. They're DeKalb graduates. I take pride in that. And when I say everyone needs compensated, I truly do mean that. My first contract was $24,000. Don't say it, Lori. I don't want to hear it. Imagine. $5,000. But I tell you what,
It was
it's
9.
and I'm definitely blessed because of it. I am. And it's not because I'm not getting this money, which we can get into the whole evaluation process. But it's just showing appreciation to everyone. So again, call to action, call to all. And it's just something needs to be changed. So, anyways, I just wanted to say that. I have nothing else. And I'll appreciate you guys.
All right.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Couple of things, Jason. You didn't need to stand at the podium. You're loud enough. But that's the coaching in you. I get that. I appreciate that. I remember when that tag money started. And like he said, it started out relatively small and wasn't a big difference between the levels. But when they came out with this new plan, I thought, what in the world is this? I thought for sure they're going to modify it a little bit.
Right.
I was hoping, I didn't really pray for it, but oh my gosh, $7,000 to 20%. I thought, that's, you know, we talk about building relationships with our kids, building relationships with your staff members, and they're going to know who gets it.
Right.
They're going to know.
Right.
So hopefully
Yeah.
common sense sets in and they're going to make some adjustments to this. So hopefully this will be modified. I'll use that word. So thanks, Jason. I agree with you.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. At this time, I will read into the minutes. Our next regular board meeting is February 17th here at Central Office at 6 o'clock p.m. And I will ask the board now for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Good night, everyone. Head over to.
You were there.